One correction to that. This is not racing. I was going to actually say this is first run after giving birth, and it's also subtitled, this is the story about the shortest run that you will hear tonight. So often I have had running goals that were based on wanting to prove something. Like when I was in high school, I made the high school track relay team because I wanted to prove I was faster than my sister. I ran my first marathon because my boyfriend, now husband, signed up for a marathon, and I certainly had to prove that I could run a marathon if he could run a marathon. So it wasn't really a surprise that when I was pregnant for the first time, I decided that I was going to prove that I could run a month after giving birth. So conventional wisdom, including my own doctor's advice, was don't start doing any physical exercise until at least 6 weeks after giving birth, and not until the doctor has given you the okay to go ahead and do that physical exercise. I knew better than that. So I knew that about a month after giving birth to an 8-pound, 9-ounce baby, where I used no medication and no epidural, I was ready to start running. So I went out. I left that baby with my husband. I went out. It was the end of June in St. Louis. And if any of you have been to St. Louis, or the Deep South, or a rainforest, or hell, you know that it is soup when you go out there to run. The temperature is in the upper 90s, the humidity is in the upper 90s, but I was gonna go out there and do it. So I mapped out this 2-mile route in our neighborhood, and the first thing that dawned on me as I started running was the super compressive, extra large, not gonna let your boobs go anywhere sports bras that I had worn running with pregnancy weren't gonna cut it. Like, those were not gonna contain my post-pregnancy boobs. I generally do not endorse using words like this, but I'm going to use them tonight because my boobs were not boobs anymore, they were jugs. Literally jugs. They produced milk, they supported this baby for a month already. She had nothing else but me to support her for this last month. And my boobs did not know, these jugs did not know how to stop producing milk. It did not matter that right before the run, I had spent some seriously quality time with my breast pump. When I started running, my boobs were like, hey, let's make some milk. So that's going on. Then you get down to the pelvic region, which has had its own serious workout in the last month, even though I hadn't been running. What you may not know about pregnancy is there's a particular hormone when you're ready to give birth that goes through your body, and what it literally does is it loosens your joints. It makes your joints start coming apart. I think that hormone was still like raging in my body when I started running because I was quite certain my legs were going to fall off. They looked like they were still there, and I was pretty sure the skin was still holding them on, but that was about it. Like, if you ever had a Barbie doll when you were a kid, I might be the only sicko that ever did this, but if you pull the legs off of the Barbie doll, there's these little like plastic joints, and you can snap them back on. But if you do that so many times, Barbie's legs don't snap back on all the way. There's like a little space between Barbie's torso and her legs, and I was pretty sure that's what was happening to my legs that day when I was out running. So that's like the outside part of your hips. The inside of your pelvic floor, you have these bones that are supposed to like move together while you're running. Mine were just moving apart as I was running. And you're like, you know that baby came out of there, and you're pretty sure as you're running this 2-mile run that everything else is gonna probably fall out on the street right there as you're running. But I'm gonna prove I can do this. So I keep going. The route that I was taking, we lived in this business neighborhood in this condo that was up above a business, but all the streets around our neighborhood were gated. So there are huge mansions, think like Gone with the Wind, but no plantation. And they have these private security guards that they hire to keep the riffraff out from St. Louis off of their streets. I'm running through one of these streets, and it is hot, and I am sweating everywhere. I have incredible butt sweat happening, and I'm like, I'm not a butt sweater. Like, I usually sweat here, I sweat in my boobs. I am not a butt sweater. I did not come home and sit down and have like that little strangely shaped heart, wet spot on the seat that you sit in. And then I'm like, this is not butt sweat. I'm totally peeing myself. And it's not like a little trickle, like you've had the hard workout, you have to really go to the bathroom, you didn't quite make it in time. It's like, I have absolutely no control over any of this. Totally peed myself on the gated street in front of these mansions, and I think, I gotta get my ass home. There are places in St. Louis that peeing on the street probably wouldn't raise an eyebrow, but this is not one of them. So I make it home. I get there. I get up to the top of the steps. I am dripping milk, I peed myself, I am sweating, I ran 2 miles, I am so damn proud that I made it back. And Erika's sitting there holding her little girl, who's a month old, totally calm. She had had the experience of her first bottle while Mom was out running. And I look at them, everything's quiet, content, calm, not me, but they are. And I realize that what Eric has told me many, many times when I set these goals, they're all about proving something, but there are some things that don't need to be proven. And when I saw them sitting there, I knew that was exactly right. There was no need for me to go for that run to prove that my body was capable of a miracle. Thanks, guys.